G'day, I'm David Abrahams and welcome to CCN's Weekly News 5 at 5, July 22. Coming up, record employment figures. Primary health is under strain, but more GPs are on the way. Homelessness inquiry comes to the coast and locals off to the Commonwealth Games. And house and techno music to help preschoolers. First up, school's back, so watch your speed around schools. And petrol prices are down, but we ask, what about diesel? Now, Business New South Wales Central Coast says the region's economy is on its way to recovery following the COVID lockdowns, with unemployment levels dropping to record levels. We spoke with an upbeat state government MP, Adam Crouch.
To see the Central Coast having an unemployment rate drop to 2%, and more importantly, a youth unemployment rate dropping to 6.2% is great news for our region. It's wonderful to see so many people back at work. And look, these are the state's lowest monthly unemployment rates since 1978. But look, obviously, this is because the government made some very tough decisions back in 2020. It's a direct result of the more than $53 billion that we injected into the New South Wales economy to help support COVID stimulus back then, and we're now seeing and reaping the rewards of this, especially here on the Central Coast.
Now, the latest COVID impact survey conducted by the Hunter New England Central Coast Primary Care Network reveals that care staff are also concerned about the management of chronic health conditions. CEO Richard Nankaris said the results were unsurprising. Now, he says workforce shortages driven by COVID restrictions on international recruitment, isolation rules and illness have all created the perfect storm for GP burnout and fatigue. However, speaking of which, more GPs will be on the way, with an announcement this week that the Central Coast will be included in the priority GP recruitment scheme across the area. We spoke with Emma McBride, who's now the Assistant Rural and Regional Health Minister.
So what this commitment does is make good on our election commitment to make the whole of the Central Coast a priority area for GPs, which means local surgeries will be able to recruit from a much wider pool of GPs. We know that of all the GPs working in Australia, that roughly 2 out of 10 work outside of big cities. It's a problem on the Central Coast and it's a problem around Australia. And it's an issue that as an incoming government, we're determined to be able to improve. So one of the first steps will be making the Central Coast a priority area. And there'll be other measures that we'll be doing, including the urgent care clinics, to make sure that people can get access affordably to care close to home when they need it.
Now, the New South Wales parliamentary inquiry into homelessness amongst older people came to Wyong to hear evidence this week, direct from service providers and local residents. The inquiry was initiated by Upper House Greens MP Abigail Boyd, and the report, that is, due out in September, will be revealing.
Homelessness is an issue that we can solve. So I would be looking for the number one recommendation to be that we invest in more social housing. But then I think we need to adopt the Home at Last Victorian model, which has that sort of, you give people home before they're even homeless. You stop them at the moment before they become homeless, and then you provide wraparound services to make sure they get back on their feet.
Now, more rainfall is on the way this weekend. Can we say enough? Which likely means no local sport, more potholes, inside activities for the kids, and, well, on the bright side, rainbows. The coast has witnessed some wonderful rainbows this weekend as the winter sun and rain droplets put on a display to lift our spirits. And the 2022 Birmingham Commonwealth Games will begin this Thursday, and the Australian squad includes 4 athletes from the Central Coast. 2 previous Commonwealth gold medalists will return looking for more. Bradley Woodward in backstroke swimming and Matt Dawson with the Kookaburras in hockey. Meanwhile, Tokyo 2020 Olympic silver medalist Nicola Onslager's Nee McDermott will compete in the high jump. And Commonwealth debutant Faith Nathan will play with the Rugby Sevens team. Stay tuned for more of this over the next few weeks. Now, all of these stories and thousands more written by local journalists and published daily can be found on our news website, coastcommunitynews.com.au, still without a paywall thanks to advertisers, and in this week's region-wide print edition of the Coast Community News. Now, find us also on your mobile phone via the Google News and Apple News apps. And remember, if you like, you can subscribe to our popular weekly email newsletter via our website. And of course, follow our socials on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook and Instagram for daily updates. Now we leave you this week with an innovative new preschool fundraiser. The Booty Sound System Collective has teamed up with Pretty Beach Community Preschool to have some serious fun. Now we had a wee chat with the organisers. Have a great weekend and enjoy the rainbows.
I think we're going to play some loud music. We're going to
have a boogie.
Pump some lasers.
We're going to save our neighbours from listening to our land room dance parties and not getting upset at us by bringing it to a live music venue.
Intention, it's a nightclub experience, you know, worthy of any, you know, global kind of cultural hub or city. So right here in Hardy's Bay.